Chapter 8. The 1,000-Year Door. Ugh, this place is freaky, but we don't have a choice, Mario. We've got to get in there and save Peach before this gets out of hand. Come on, Mario. Hey guys, it's ExandShadow, and welcome back to Let's Play Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door. Well, this is it, the final showdown, the Palace's Shadow, the last dungeon in the entire game. Well, unless if you count the Pit of 100 Trials, but that's more of a challenge dungeon than anything. Anyway, the Palace's Shadow is rightfully pretty much the hardest area in the standard game. You know, the hardest enemies, the hardest puzzles. This is pretty much just a gauntlet dungeon. The dungeon's essentially the whole entire level. Anyway, these are our new enemies, Swoopulas. They're pretty much just like the bad enemies we fought in Chapter 4, only stronger, so I don't think they have a ceiling to hang on, at least in this first section, so they're really not that big of a deal. Your standard attacks will do pretty much just fine. They start off tame, but the enemies do get pretty hard later in the area, so yeah. So this chapter is essentially just a gauntlet dungeon. You know, it's puzzle room after enemy-filled room after puzzle room after bullet-filled room after boss fight after it's just gauntlet after gauntlet, which I really do like. You know, they did essentially the same thing in Paper Mario 1 as well in Bowser's Castle. But however, I do I'm not sure which dungeon I like better. I will say that I think that Bowser's Dungeon definitely had a more fitting final area music. I just sort of think that, I mean, I know that it's a remix of a whole bunch of the old, I know it's a remix of a whole bunch of the old Mario dungeons and stuff. I just think that something a little bit more epic would have been suitable, but I mean, I guess it does work in the sense that this area is supposed to be very creepy, and this is actually a very creepy remix of all of the different sort of themes that Mario themes that we've grown accustomed to. Anyway, these are dry bones, not dull bones, just dry bones. So yeah, we haven't seen this enemy type since Chapter 1. These guys are special in that if you kill them, they don't necessarily die. When you get them down to zero HP, they'll sort of fall into a crumple, and then they'll be dead. You'll get your star points and stuff, but they will come back if you don't finish all the enemies in the area off fast enough. See there, I got star points, but his bones are still there, and I can still attack the body too, which is sort of odd. So Vivian and Bobbery are your best. Ah, fuck! I chose the wrong one. But Vivian and Bobbery are your best choices here because they're weak to fire and explosion type moves. Like if you kill them with Fiery Jinx, the dry bones will die permanently and they won't ever come back. And if you kill them with an explosion attack from Bobbery, they won't ever come back. Unlike Paper Mario 1, however, it doesn't deal like triple damage or whatever it was from Paper Mario 1, which was ridiculous. However, in Paper Mario 1, you also had a lot less access to fire elemental moves. Like, I think the only standard move that had a fire element was Cooper's Ultra Rank move, which took like, what, I think it was like 8 or 9 FP, which was ridiculous. But, yeah, oh, level up. Yay! This area, the enemies give a lot of star points, because, you know, it's the end of the game, you know, they should give a lot of star points. However, I would recommend, and I'm trying not to spoil, but by the end of the area, you want to have about 70 star points at the end of the area. I'll tell you when that is. I actually fucked this up. But for an unspecified reason, you're going to want to have about 70 star points by the end of the entire dungeon. But that's not for a while, so You don't really have to worry about that right away. Just fight pretty much every enemy you see along the way and you should be fine. Don't worry, there are hard blocks and save blocks along different points in the dungeon, so you'll be okay. I wouldn't recommend using your Ultra Shrooms or Jam and Jellies unless if you really need to, like in the heat of a boss fight or something like that. If you've got some smaller healing items, or if you find some smaller healing items, use those first. Don't hesitate to use Sweet Feast or Sweet Treat or any of those type of moves. Just, I would recommend saving your super ultra mega healing items for either the final boss or when you really need them before them. Anyway, these are Bombshell bills. They're pretty much like your standard bullet bills that we saw in Chapter 5, only tougher. These guys, just use your hammer to take them out. They've got 3 defense, which, actually they've got 2 defense, which means that if you try jumping on them, you won't be able to kill them. So just, stick with, the hammer attacks and you'll be okay. Bobbery, I think, can take them out in 1 hit. I'm pretty sure, actually, I don't think Vivian can take them out in 1 hit, because I think they're resistant to, fire elemental attacks, but Miss Mouse is also a good choice. Just anybody who can deal hard, or in Miss Mouse's case, anybody who has a high defense. I mean, who can pierce defense. Anyway, these are Bombshell Bill Blasters, or B-Bill Blasters. These guys, oh, yeah, I like that. Sorry for the abbreviation. It's okay, Goombella. I know you've got a character limit to think about. Anyway, taking these guys out, it's just as a matter of using your strongest attacks, you know. I probably should have used Spin Jump, now that I think about it, but, not that big of a deal. Miss Mouse is a good choice for these, just because she can pierce defense. However, oh wait, yeah, I'm choosing Miss Mouse for a second, and then I'm like, no, that's not a good idea. Oh, it's a dried shroom. I thought that, for a second there, I thought that it was a, it was like a... I can't talk today. For a second I thought it was a rock or something, but because of the big bob-ombs in the audience, it's a little bit hard to tell. Big bob-ombs are actually one of the worst audience members you can have, because they take up 2 seats instead of 1, which sucks. As a matter of fact, I don't think I really went over which audience members do which. Anyway, the only thing you really have to worry about is what their rate of throwing items is. Like, there are some things like, big bob-ombs can take up 2 seats instead of 1. Shy Guys can sometimes go on the stage and mess shit up. Boos can sometimes make people invisible. Actually, I think that's about it as far as just normal messing around with the stage. When it comes to throwing stuff, Punies and Koopas, I think, are more. Puny, Koopas, and Toads are more likely to throw helpful items, while x-nauts and Goombas are more likely to throw like rocks or cans. Luigi, if you get him in the audience, is actually pretty likely to throw really helpful stuff like items. Anyway, this is just a standard spike room, so I'm trying to get that badge, which landed on spikes, which sucks. But anyway, oh, I got it anyway. Sweet. Anyway, if you get the, that's the all or nothing badge. Essentially what that does is, it gives you more attack power if you succeed on the action command. But if you fail on the action command, you do nothing. So if you're confident with your action commands, I would recommend putting that badge on. As for myself, I don't usually equip it just in case I make a mistake. Anyway, next part we go further through the dungeon. I'm ExandShadow, and I'll see you guys later.